Hi there everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys my community spoiler for Final Fantasy TCG Opus X. But before we do that, don't forget to check out all of my social media links in the description box below, including my Facebook, my Twitter, Discord, all sorts of different things that you can have a look at there. And quite nicely, this card that I'm about to spoil for you will tie in quite nicely with the deck profile I actually posted yesterday, which is my FF13 Witch Blitz Lightning Ice deck. So if you wanted to check that out, then be sure to check that out in the description box below as well. So without further ado, let's bring out the card in question. The card's name is Revenant Wings, so it's another Final Fantasy XII summon, of which there are many at this point. You've got the Zodiac summons from 12 itself, you've got like summons from Revenant Wings now, there's so many. So title format is not wanting the summons for FF12, but it's a 1 CP EX lightning summon with deal 2000 damage to all of your opponent's active forwards and then draw a card. Now, this summon doesn't look like much when you first look at it, but when you start to realise the rest of the cards that are in Lightning, having an EX summon that draws a card is very unusual for Lightning. We saw this in Mind Flayer, which was funnily enough my community spoiler for the last set in Ice, and Mind Flayer didn't see a huge amount of play, but it started to see some when people realised that EX draw power alongside, Azure Dragon, Soryu and things like that is actually really quite nice, having the ability to draw cards on EX, because Lightning's EXs aren't generally all that powerful currently, because we haven't got all that many. People are starting to not run Idea anymore. People are starting to sort of come away from a lot of the EXs. So having an EX that draws a card, even if the actual effect itself isn't all that powerful, though it will remove things like Poran and Viking off the board as long as they're not boosted, straight away. And it does actually have a fair few combo plays that you'd be able to make that perhaps you wouldn't think of originally. As a cantrip, or it's a commonly used term in card games, as a card that replaces itself in addition to its effect, it's actually quite useful, because the fact that it deals 2000 damage to all your opponent's active forwards means that it can set you up for plays like Onion Knight if you don't have an Alcid in hand, for example. You'd be able to play that straight away. Black Mage is a card that can suddenly break a damaged forward. There's a lot of interactions with damaged forwards in Lightning, so this is a cheap and relatively effective way to enable those cards to go off while still keeping your hand up as much as possible. If you have Alcid and a card that's not Onion Knight or anything like that, so for example Illawa, Alba, Maya, things like that, then it means that you may still get it will be 8000 damage as opposed to 6, which is actually quite relevant. You get quite a lot of abilities that way, and that's useful to have on it in and of itself. Illawa you can use to combo into this by using her S ability, so their power drops by 2000 and you get the 2000 damage on top of it, and so in combat it can be quite useful. But like I said, I think the primary reason to use this card is that it is an EX draw spell that, it can be used to thin your deck, get to the places that you actually want to be at when it comes to your Lightning deck, and just kind of aid in kind of gelling everything together within your deck. Now, I've had a lot of spoilers for FFTCG in the past. I think I've been doing them since Opus 2, in fact, so I've had them for a very, very long time. But this is the first time that I've had a spoiler that actually has a full art variant of itself. So Raiden is also one of the full art cards that can be acquired by opening boosters for Opus X. So as you can see here, it removes the text box and allows more of the artwork to be seen, and Ryo Morito is one of the artists who originally did Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced stuff and has done a lot of work on the various different games within the Final Fantasy franchise, and now we can see more of his work come to the front with Raiden and a lot of other cards that are in the set. Opus X has got some really nice artwork coming into the fray. We've seen cards like Refia and Aria come out that are gorgeous, but I think there's still something to be said for this very classic art style that, a lot of the games, like particularly the Tactics series, or pretty much anything set in Ivalice, in fact, does very, very well. So it's a common card, so it's probably not the full art that you're probably hoping for when you go into opening a box, but if you get it by opening random boosters, then hey, it's an excellent piece of artwork for you to own. So that's going to be it for this video for today. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Raiden, whether you'll put it in a deck, whether you won't put it in a deck, and if you do, what cards you want to use it in combination with, or what uses you think it may have in the upcoming meta, if any. Let me know exactly what decks you plan to build for Opus X as well, what other spoilers you've seen from Opus X that you're very excited about, And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications for all things Final Fantasy TCG, Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, and all sorts of other content as well. Thank you ever so much for joining me, and I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.